Autism and the pubic bone strike. How to change the development of autism with movement lesson. Okay, first of all, let me cover the big question. Cure, prevent. Cure means I take a pill and it's gone. Or I have a good thought, it's gone. Cures is just a misconception about how the human body works. Prevention, yes, I truly believe autism in many ways is a movement disorder. It can cause from different types of, that's when people say, oh, it's this, that, and the other. It's still a movement disorder, right? Autism, true autism, is really specific genetic base. Prader-Willi, charge. There's about 5 different variations of genetics that are obvious for autism, okay? What started happening is the baby's movements have changed. They're being prevented. We even have something called what's now the baby container syndrome. But these have issues, right? What needs to be done to prevent autism? And also this includes the pubic bone strike, because autistic kids, that this is the biggest area of concern, is the pubic bone strike. They just don't have it, right? They need to have this versus this, right? And it seems like a slouch. It seems people look at this, we are built for internal movements, and I'm going to explain what a pubic bone strike is. But to have optimal development, you need a full-term delivery. The baby rotates out. This is the first rotation. All functional movement include rotation. Kids can't point. It's not about pointing, guys. It's about rotation, right? It's about rotation. So they don't have the rotation in the upper body. That's where you see the similarities of ADD and autism, because ADD kids have no rotation here. They have to see with their chest, and now I'm gone. They have to see with their chest, and now you're gone. And you're like, sit down, pay attention, because they can't sit down and go, what? Because they have no rotation here, right? If you say pick up the pencil, I might be able to do something like this and pick it up, right? They have to, I'll get the pencil, and you're gone. So, because again, they have to see here. So there could be a combination of that rotation there. You'll see rotation, especially in the upper arm. That's why autistic kids will be like, but they can't push you away. They're goats with their feet. What they can do and climb and whatever, but and legs, but upper body is it's like it's separated. Lack of peripheral vision, that ability to do here. Again, guys, rotation, crossing midline. But again, peripheral vision, pubic bone strike. When I'm doing something like, when I'm here, Charlie, oh, he's not answering his name. He can't. How, if you're back here, how is Charlie gonna go like, he's gonna fall down? Well, no kid wants to fall down, right? But a kid with a pubic bone strike, but I'll explain the development, comes here, what? Here, guess what? I can do all this. Here, and my kid doesn't have independent sitting. No, your kid doesn't have a pubic bone strike. But when you're looking at autism, anything, so again, birth, rotation comes out. Do your newborn movement assessment. There's this big misconception. My birth was totally fine, so I shouldn't have a problem with my child. You don't know what happened in utero. You don't know if they've had a stroke in utero. You don't know what happened during the birthing process. You're only seeing what you think is the good stuff. Right? I'm showing enough videos about what's being done by hospitalists, and people are like, I can't watch this. No, you need to know, because you think you had a perfectly fine thing, and some guy's sort of like dropping your baby looking for a Moro. And if you don't believe me, look on the feeds on that. Horrible. I put out there to that guy, though. I'll show him how to work with newborns. But anyway, the newborn movement assessment is there. It is free. It is on my course. It's free. Every child should be examined. Right now, I've invented a motion sensor mat. My goal is that my motion sensor mat is in every hospital, right? If you want to talk to me about development and funding, by all means. But your baby should have these skills immediately. And if they don't, we need to get on it immediately. This is not, people think that nothing happens birth to 3 months. This is where autism is created, right? When it's a movement disorder. It's crucial. And so by bypassing those areas of development, swaddling, oh, my baby's just too fussy. Why are they fussy? Don't swaddle them to just shut down their systems, right? Again, what I just say, midline issues with autism. Don't swaddle the babies. right? We have these practices in place, or my baby can only sleep in the car seat. I've flatheads, plagiocephalies. They'll tell you it doesn't affect development. Are you out of your mind? Of course plagiocephaly is going to affect development, but don't let it happen, right? There's too much back time. I'm not saying all babies need to sleep on their bellies, but in 1992, they said sleep the babies on their back. Look at when autism really started kicking in. Now, again, baby safe, baby all that, SIDS, we don't want them to happen. I'm not saying stop that practice, but your baby needs supervised tummy time. It is that important. Tummy time night to the U.S. government is an activity. It's not a milestone. Guess what it is? I just covered that on how it affects his speech and cognition. And again, I can't put everything into one live, but that's really important. But that's what sets up the pubic bone strike. So when your baby's in tummy time, right, they should not be here, right? Midline interruption. There's no midline when I'm like this. They should not have their butts up. This is where, oh, my baby hates tummy time. Yeah, because their pelvis isn't presenting down. And don't prop the baby. What am I going to do here? Well, if I go too far, guess what? I'm going to fall over. Well, who wants to fall over? So now they're stuck here. Oh, this will develop head strength. No baby lifts her head. You and I can. But what they do is they'll start to surf. This is where airplane comes out, where I can play, but they do it off their pubic bone and their pelvis. But when just tummy time, here to here, guess what? My pelvis is walking. This is the first walk of the human body. I'm going through my pubic bone to my iliac crest. I'm going through my pubic bone into my iliac crest. This is walking, right? A baby who doesn't do that is and will have difficulty in crawling and walking, right? And presenting with the pubic bone strike. But at 4.5 months, your baby will start to get up and bam. It's not planking. It's not this. Bam. And that's your pubic bone strike. It happens at 4.5 months. And this is when also the tongue can articulate out. So again, autism, lack of speech, I'm going to tell you right now, pubic bone strike. So when you see that there is a problem, in sitting, independent sitting, I should be on my pubic bone, not here. So that's where you'll see in the legs start to do like this. Guess what? I can't do midline when I'm off my pubic bone. I have my pubic bone. Guess what? I can come to midline, and I can also cross midline. Again, this is walking. It's just because people go, oh, my baby can sit up. Look at the quality, guys. This to this. Now, you might call it slouching, low tone, coarse. You can say all that. Pubic bone strike. It's important when you're an adult as well as it was when you're a child, right? And that's what again, so from birth to 5 months, guys, these are the key stuff that you're looking for. So again, rolling over, pubic bone strike. How's it happening? Pubic bone strike. Whew, and I'm here, and I'm rolling over, right? Lack of pubic bone strike. Oh, my baby can't roll over. Do you see the difference? Right? They shouldn't look like fish out of water. I should see something. My eye stays on the prize. Guess what? When my eye stays on the prize, again, is that autism or not? These signs can be seen real early, folks. And again, are you doing the rolling over course? Are you doing the tummy time course? Do it because you want to, not because you have to, right? I don't want to tell someone to go back at 8 months old to do the tummy time course. This shouldn't be happening. It should be, oh, I had a baby. Let's have a tummy time course. Oh, now we're going into rolling over. Cool. I know what's going on with my baby. I know what's going on. But on top of that, if you start talking to your doctor about behavioral, look at the CDC. What does it say? On their website, not me, that's the Center of Disease Control, U.S. government. They don't start looking at behavioral at 9 months. I'm already telling you a list of variations for autism by 5 months. You want to wait till 9 months? Stop, right? These are the things that are needed for your child's well-being with or without autism. But you can't tell me that autism used to be 1 in 3,000 and now it's in 1 in 27. That's not genetics, guys. In 1992, we started sleeping our babies on our back. Again, I'm not saying to stop that practice. What changed in the child's development because of that? In 1994, we introduced the 5-point harness. I'm not saying don't use a car seat to take your child to Walmart, but when you get to Walmart, take the baby out, right? Work with that pelvis. I read a paper on flatheads. Flatheads used to only be because of birth trauma. Now it's in 65% of all babies. It's got to stop, guys. We need to catch it. So much is going on with your baby. Birth to 3 months, I can't even begin to tell you, but we need to get on it, right? So everybody looking for a genetic condition of why autism is happening, right? What are the top 10 presents to give to your baby? Something to restrict their movement. You need a blanket and a child, right? And if that's a problem, you need to get on it versus, oh, it's just a little colic. Oh, it's just a little, it's not about that, right? It's not about that they can detect more. It's happening more, right? We didn't have the same rate as autism when I was born in 1964, right? You know, but kids were playing, hanging off trees and all of this sort of stuff. Yes, we can blame the environment all you want, but what we're doing is as we become more affluent, we take away movements from ourselves and from our babies. And like I said, I was reading a paper on flatheads and so forth, and it said babies are left in the car seats up to, if not longer than 24 hours. And you might say that's crazy, but it's happening, right? And these kind of things. Now I can get into it further. I've done webinars on this. Stop putting Wi-Fi on the babies. They have now infant security system. They're at Walmart, $2.99. People say my course is too expensive. $2.99 for you're going to put a baby monitor on your child. Let me tell you, you're going to think that they're going to have issues with movement their whole life. You can't put that kind of device on a baby's ankle for a year. You just can't. It restricts too many movements. I'm not saying that I want your baby to have respiratory distress. There's times when we have to do those things, but to do it just because, no, it's got to stop. See, you and I had a tag around our ankles. You know, now they're putting the Wi-Fi on the babies, and again, it's not the Wi-Fi per se. It's the fact that they're putting this kind of a device on the foot, right, for the first 48 hours. What are hospitals getting out of it? They're seeing how much the babies are being held, how much the babies are being fed. They're getting data off your baby. But the data they're not collecting is that the fact that they're creating movement issues. Nobody's looking at the babies. That's what I've been doing. I've been looking at the babies like with a fine-tooth comb. And we've increased C-sections. The World Health Organization wants C-sections at 10 to 12%. State of New Jersey and California, they're about 37%. And once you have one baby with a C, all the rest have to be Cs. Again, the C-section is there to save maybe your life and the baby's life. But what you don't realize is every baby afterwards now has to be a C, right? And how they're doing the C-section. Are they dragging your baby out by their arm, or are they coming head first? Do they have a full-time labor? No, you know what I mean? You're bypassing the contractions, all the things that meant to happen. And I'm not saying, again, don't threaten your life or the baby's life, but that's why you have to come in and do the newborn movement assessment and get on your child, because nobody's watching your child for movement, really, except for me with that. And this whole big, oh, my baby did that, they're fine. That might be the case, but what I was told about my kid, that he should be fine, he should be talking in 5 months, there was not one evaluation done. The neuromuscular clinic that I have coming out this year is going to be like gangbusters evaluation, from reflexes to neuromuscular to cognitive to development, all sorts of things, and a 4-point deviation. Training starts February 7th. Even if you can't attend, guys, do the Zoom. You still get the book. Otherwise, the book will be sold separately from the course. But I'm not trying to give you more work. I'm trying to give you less work now so you have less work later. But if you don't think raising a child with autism is difficult, hello. I'm a mother with a child with autism. He's about to graduate college. He's probably the only kid that I know that's fully functioning, except for driving, right, at 22, graduating college with honors, they said he'd never walk or talk, right? But there should be 50,000 grams, not one. I'm here from an example. I'm like the hair club member for, you know, I'm a user. I use this work. I promote this work. This work is what needs to be out there. But guys, they're saying by 2050, every other kid, 1 in 2 is going to have autism. We need to start evaluating children babies for movement. We just got to start it. It gives you a better reference of where your child's at, especially if there is any regression or complications, that you can talk to your professional team early on. But saying, oh, I never really had good eye contact, or my child's just a little bit delayed, but everybody said not to worry. Not on my ship. I'm not going to have it. I'll be barking all day long until the day I die. So, thanks.